Lucky Land Slots, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Jumping up in the van, all kind of different thing they have in their hand. They're jumping up and down, they don't give a damn. Carrying on like them is some hooligan. We gon' mash up everything like we have insurance, and tear down everything like we have insurance. We gon' shell out everything like we have insurance. When crazy people reach up, they have insurance, cause we have endurance. We gon' mash it up and buy back, tear down and build back. Mash it up and buy back. Mash it up and buy back, tear down and build back. Mash it up and buy back, break it down red, red and red and brown. Yes, make a mess in the place. Yes, we don't have no behavior. Yes, that do not see the place. Yes, the young it up with the powder. Yes, make a mess in the place. Yes, we don't have no behavior. Yes, that do not see the place. Yes, the anywhere we go, the place nasty up, dirty up. We gon' fuck it up. Try with the powder anywhere we go, the place nasty up, dirty up. We gon' fuck it up. Try with the powder. Crazy people dropping off in the van, all kind of different thing they have in their hand. They're jumping up and down, they don't give a damn. Carrying on like them is some hooligan. We gon' mash up everything like we have insurance, and tear down everything like we have insurance. We gon' shell out everything like we have insurance. When crazy people reach up, they have insurance, cause we have endurance. We gon' mash it up and buy back, tear down and build back. Mash it up and buy back. Jumping up in the van, all kind of different thing they have in their hand. They're jumping up and down, they don't give a damn. Carrying on like them is some hooligan. We gon' mash up everything like we have insurance, and tear down everything like we have insurance. We gon' shell out everything like we have insurance. When crazy people reach up, they have insurance, cause we have endurance. We gon' mash it up and buy back, tear down and build back. Mash it up and buy back.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Lyndachica, coming live and direct from the 6. On today's show, I'll be featuring Johnny Fontaine, aka Vincy's bad boy. I am pleased to welcome Problem Child on today's show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
I would like to first off start off by saying thank you for being a very special guest on my show. And for those of you who do not know Problem Child, he's an incredibly talented artist, soca artist. He was able to successfully integrate his Vincy culture mixed with an American sound. As a global ambassador of soca music, he shows the world what West Indians have known for years, that Problem Child and soca music are forces to be reckoned with. And well, with that being said, welcome Problem Child to my show, and let's get started. Thank you.
Yes, ready to go.
So tell us, how did you get into the music industry?
I wouldn't say I really got into the industry. I would more so say the industry chose me because I was just like a fan of music, much like any other person who likes music. It wasn't nothing special to it. It wasn't something that I set out to do. Of course, I had, dreams and hopes and aims and so on, but I never really applied myself. But from playing around with the music, to cut a long story short, I guess my talent fell on the right ears, and this gentleman recorded me many, many years ago, and I put a song out for St. Vincent's Carnival, which we call Vincy Mass. I put that song out, and it did very well. And, I was just getting a lot of messages about how well the song did and whatever. But I was still like, yeah, whatever, I'm just playing around. And then I did another song the following year, and that song did well. And I got a booking in Toronto. That was my very first soca booking. And once I realized that the promoter paid me, paid for my flight, fed me, the full works. I didn't know that this was possible. I didn't know that this is how it worked. So that experience kind of did it for me, where I was kind of like, wait a minute, I could survive doing this if I really applied myself. So that's when I started applying myself and trying. And then I think it might have been 2 years later, I had the song Party Animal, and everything took off from there. So before that, it was more or less me just playing around with music, just toying with it, just knowing I had some talent, but not really applying it.
Okay. Now, was that back in about maybe 2010, 2009 when you first did that show here in Toronto?
No, 2005, I think it might.
2005. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was a very, very, very tiny show, very small audience, but yet, and still it exposed me to what the possibilities are, and that's what made me see that I might be interested in music on a more serious level to, pursue it as an artist, a full-time artist.
Awesome. And now, what inspired you to want to do music?
Music is just, some things you just have a natural knack for and a natural love for. I guess it's the training that I received, not formal training, but in terms of as a child, the radio would always be on in the house, and I just heard so many different genres of music because my uncle was a DJ. He played whatever he played. My mother liked something else. She played whatever she played. My dad loved music. My other uncle was a drummer. So, it was just music that was always in my presence. So without me knowing, I guess I was kind of being taught and trained at an early age. So I just developed a natural love. It's like anything you get accustomed to over a period of time, especially when you're a child, because your brain is somewhat like a sponge to soak it up. I guess I just soaked it up from then into adulthood.
Okay. From Life of the Party to Nasty Up, you've made banger after banger over the years, and these tracks always get the fets ready. Tell us a bit about your music.
Wow. Woo, that's a lot to speak on. To keep it very general, I just try to put my best foot forward and write, on topics and use concepts that people could resonate with, things that I may put out there and someone might hear and say, you know what? I believe that's me. He's really talking about me, or I've experienced this, or I know someone who have experienced this situation, or this is me, so on and so forth. And, even when I write for other people, because I've written a bunch of other hit songs for other people as well, I try to make it relatable. Who has to now go and perform the song, as well as the people they're performing to. So, that's just to put it on a broad scale. That's just how I apply myself.
I'll be honest with you. Growing up, I really wasn't very familiar with soca music, and I knew some dance hall, even though with my West Indian culture, I knew more of the mainstream stuff. But many years back, I heard Life of the Party, and it's interesting that you said people can relate to it. I said, that's that track. They are talking about me. He's talking about me. And that was it. Like, it was something went off, and I became a carnivalist and a fetter after that. So
me myself growing up, I mean, of course, I knew of soca. I liked it, but, I wasn't that much into it. It was when I migrated to the U.S. I guess absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes.
Because it wasn't really there. It wasn't very prevalent. And when I would go out, I would hardly hear it, like 2 or 3 songs, but it was so refreshing to hear it.
Right.
And then I was more into dancehall and hip hop, and it was very difficult, still is, to get into the dancehall market. So I just started using my dancehall flow or my dancehall vibe on the soca beats, and it started to work for me, which is why Life for the Party sounds kind of sort of the way it does.
Right. It does have that dance hall vibe to it.
Yeah. And I also wrote another song on that same beat, what we call a rhythm, called A Little Why Never Hurt Nobody, for Patrice Roberts. So
okay. There's the story behind that. Awesome.
Yeah, so that song in itself helped my career to take off from writing hers and mine, and they both kind of grew.
Glad that you shared that. And now tell us a bit, how did you learn to write and sing music?
Well, I wouldn't call what I do singing. I get by. I get by. But as far as writing, I guess it happened the same way music got into me, just by hearing all these melodies over the years and the structure of music. At a certain point, I learned how counting bars work, 16 bars, 8 bars, and so on and so forth, how many beats make a bar. And the basics, but it's all about a vibe. It's all about just putting the right words to the beat or putting the right words down. Not necessarily by writing it out, but in your mind and in your soul, and just knowing how to deliver. It's like I could speak to you and get you to understand something, or I could sing what I'm trying to get to you, get the point I'm trying to get across to you, sing it and have it stuck in your mind for a longer time period, because I use melodies and certain words. And then, the more you do it, you learn little tricks. It gets a little bit more intricate where, should I say, we are going, or we are going, or let's go, which basically is saying just about the same thing, but depending on the point you want to bring across, sometimes one word change or the different usage of a certain word could just alter the whole thing, or just change the whole thing, flip it a whole different way, give it a whole different meaning. So these things I've learned over time, but it's all just based on vibe.
Now, tell us how you brought your Vincy sound to more of a mainstream market. And you're one of the most iconic crossover soca artists out there. So, in the game. So can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, music is naturally always evolving, and the sound of Vincy soca is a little bit more raunchy and a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more raw than some other aspects of soca music. So, I just try to incorporate it, when necessary. You may hear a song and you may hear none of that in there, because that's not what I'm trying to relate, to the public. But there are times when I have to do it. It's always there when I'm ready for it. So I just use it when necessary.
Okay. Now, I'm sure a lot of our listeners out there is curious about your name. Problem Child is definitely a very unique name. Can you tell us about the inspiration behind it?
I was basically called that once or twice. It wasn't really a name that stuck. It was when I came here on vacation at a very, very, very early age. And it was me and somebody else, and they used to say, "Oh, problem one and problem two, what you're up to now?" We always just looked like we weren't up to anything. But we just always looked like, let's find something to do, and that's just how it really started. But it wasn't really my name back in St. Vincent. So I just took it from here and took it back there when I needed a moniker to go by. And then it really fits, because it turns out no one really knows that story, but they usually say, "Yo, you're a real problem," because I guess because of little things like I'm outspoken, and I speak my mind, and I give it the way it is, and I'm a lot. I wanted to say I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but it's more than just a bit. I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, I like things to be done correctly. And, some people that don't sit right with some people.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, being in the music game, you do need to be a bit of a perfectionist, especially writing tracks, producing tracks, putting everything together with the melodies. You want everything to be flawless. So that actually is beneficial for you.
Yep.
So over your career so far, you've worked with a ton of different artists in the industry. I've seen Ravi B, Beanie Man, Bungie, Fan, and the list goes on and on. Who have you not worked with that you'd love to collab with in the future?
I've pretty much worked with everybody in soca. I've worked with Machel Montano. I've worked with Patrice Roberts, King Bubba, Charlotte Marshall. You know, most of their more recent hit songs I've penned. So the people I really want to collaborate with are outside the genre of soca per se, because I like to challenge myself, and I do think that I have the capability of writing not just soca music, but other genres as well. So the people who I want to collab with are people who don't really sing soca, because I've done that so much already. You know, it's time for new challenges, if you may.
Well, anyone in particular that you've been thinking about?
Oh yeah, lots of people. People like Kanye West, Jay-Z.
Cool.
Rihanna, Vibes Cartel, Idonia, whoever, just a bunch of people who I rate. I like crazy genres. It's like I like hard rock and people like.
Wow.
I listen to people like Lana Del Rey and stuff like that. You know, her and people like that. I just listen to a wide variety of music.
Okay, that's excellent. Yeah. Now you've been in so many concerts worldwide. You've done so many concerts worldwide. Tell us, what do you love most about performing?
Oh man, just it's gonna sound really corny or basic. Just being there, just being able to communicate with the people, you know, exchange words, you know, command them to do certain things, and to feel their energy and see the way they react to songs that I wrote, you know, songs that I just put out there, songs that I do for the love of it,
right?
Or mostly, and to see that people are so receptive to the stuff that I've done, that I've recorded is an amazing feeling. It's hard to describe, very hard to describe. You could get very caught up in the moment. I think it's way better than looking at a movie or something. It's like living a dream for that time period.
Your music is known worldwide and heard by so many people. And I've been to a ton of your shows in North America, and your performances are always high energy. Everyone's dancing, everyone's shouting, jumping. Everyone's always having an amazing, amazing time. And I've always been curious because, you know, every time I see you, you're always jumping up on stage, running here, running there, jumping there. I'm like, okay, he's been traveling. He's been this, where do you get the energy from to keep up with these shows?
I mean, you get used to it. It's just like any job, you know. It's like a pilot flying a plane. You might look at it like, wow, that looks really complicated. But I guess, you know, first couple of times, you know, it's kind of like he needs some kind of guidance and he's learning. And then after a while, it becomes like nothing. It's just adrenaline kicks in, a lot of endorphins, and that helps you to get through it. You know, I've performed injured before, in doing the performance, I can't tell that I'm injured. Even I can't tell.
Wow.
The audience can't tell. It comes with the territory, so you have to embrace it and know how to do what you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, even if you were injured, I don't think you would show it. You'd still be jumping up and down and doing your usual shenanigans on stage because you are a true entertainer. And on that same topic, I mean, these fetes are massive. Those stages are massive. And I've watched you perform in huge, huge sold out events. There are some people who the natural fear of speaking or singing in front of people, stage fright. Have you ever encountered that in your career? And how did you overcome it? I mean, it is something that, you know, our listeners would be definitely interested in learning more about.
I would say very, very, very early in my career.
Okay.
Like very early. I just wanted to not, it wasn't so much that I was afraid. I just wanted to not mess up. Not mess up.
Right.
But you gain confidence after a while. You gain so much confidence. And then once you know what you're doing, confidence is very, very important. It's more or less like, it's borderline cocky, where I know I'm not going to mess up. I know I'm going to do well out there. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to sort of feel yourself, as they say, feel your own energy. Like, when I go out there, I'm in charge. I'm in control.
Right.
And once you acknowledge and believe that to a T, then you don't really have stage fright. What I get is anxiety. Like, I'm ready. Like, come on, let's go. Like, I'm at the bottom of the stairs or wherever at the entrance of the stage. Like, I'm ready to go. Always ready to go. Once they announce my name and I know I'm about to go on stage, I just turn into a whole different person.
Now, you've done a ton of performances and worked with so many artists over the years. If you could open a show for an artist, who would that be?
Actually, I wouldn't choose to open the show. Because the opening act is really not really the headliner. I would more so try to be the headliner. So I wouldn't say open, but like perform alongside or perform in the same event. I mean, I perform on the stages with everybody in soca probably. So once again, it would not be within the soca genre, because I don't think there's any soca act that I haven't graced the stage with, or graced their stage, or I've headlined, and whatever the case may be, they've headlined and I've performed. It's so many times that I've done that. So once again, it'll have to be outside of soca, and it will probably be the same names I mentioned earlier.
Now, where's the one place that you love performing the most, and why?
Oh, that's easy. That's St. Vincent. That's easy, because our energy is just different. The crowd response is just always different. I've gotten great crowd responses in Toronto, and Toronto is right up there with St. Vincent, right up there. But because the crowd is more diverse and it's mixed, and you have some people who might be at a Toronto event that is still not really hip to what happens, or it might be their first event, or they might like a particular type of music, type of soca, but in St. Vincent, I get what I want every single time.
Right.
So we're a little bit crazier than most. The responses are crazy, and the things they do to show that they appreciate you, or what we call a forward, things that they do to give you a forward, is crazy and outlandish. It could be anything. It's just wild and crazy, and that's what I like. Now,
what do you think are the unique skills that you bring to the table that sets you apart from other soca artists?
Just overall vibe and image, for sure. For sure, image, for sure. Like, my parents, if you know, like, I don't think I'm similar to anybody in that regard, image wise. It may be somewhat close. Yeah, there might be some similarities, but to a T, I beg to differ. I don't think I'm like anybody. It's like my energy is just like all the way up all the time.
Right.
So that's basically what it is. I think I could do like a variety of different things. Like, no matter what soca evolves into, whether it's the harsh, aggressive stuff, I could do it. Whether it's the smooth, groovy stuff, I get by with that. Whether it's the dance hall sounding stuff, I get by with that. As well as far as songwriting goes. There's a lot that I do as far as writing in terms of songs that I've written, especially within recent times, for people that are major hit songs. I think that helps in itself to set me apart.
Great. That's great. Now, some of our listeners out there are thinking about music, thinking about the music game. And what advice would you give to them for someone thinking about music and possibly wanting a career in music?
You gotta have thick skin. You gotta have thick skin, because you could hear things about yourself that you didn't even know. Things about yourself that of course are not true. Negative things. And most of all, if you're just starting out, you have to know not to give up, and your work ethic gotta be on 100 at all times. Because fact of the matter is, as much as music might not be for everyone, I could guarantee that anyone who applies themselves and doesn't give up will see some level of success. It has to happen. If you don't give up, if you don't stop, and you apply yourself as far as work ethic go, you will realize some level of success. Maybe not what you wanted or what you aimed for, but you will be successful in some regard.
I actually totally believe what you just said there, because...
Oh, I'm living proof. It's not easy, and it still isn't easy. It still isn't easy, but you have to know when you're met with obstacles, you have to know how to use the obstacles to strengthen you. It's like I always tell people, half of these projects you see coming out are my projects. And, it may seem like hard work, but it's what I had to do because other people weren't willing to include me at a certain point on their projects. So what was I going to do? Just sit around and hope that someone eventually gives me a shot? I probably would still be here waiting because it still doesn't happen for the most part. Rarely does it happen. It happens, but very rarely. So I just started making my own projects and using my songwriting ability and just including other people on the projects who I know would do something for the project and then put myself on it. So you have to know how to face your obstacles and resistance make you stronger. So embrace it.
And what you said is 1,000% accurate because, because of COVID, I actually got laid off from the corporate world. And I said, I have all this time on my hands. What am I going to do with my time? I literally started writing music. 3 months later, I dropped my first album, working with producers, working with different rappers, especially the Americans. The Americans seem to really like my music, which is really good. And I mean, now for my next album, I'm working with Bear artists, and I never would have expected this would have ever happened. But if you're devoting 20 hours a day to your craft, you will get better.
Yeah, it's just like me. Like, I've been recording myself. My song that's out right now, my single, that's called Oh My Gosh. It's out right now. I recorded that myself right here at my house because I could not go to the studio, so I invested in studio equipment and I've been recording myself. I have an EP that's dropping July 10th.
Okay.
And there's 5 songs on it and I recorded all 5 songs on my own. So, before that I would have been going to the studio to do those recordings and I just recorded all the songs here. So that's something I knew how to do, but I never ventured into doing it on a level where the songs could be released. I mostly recorded myself for the sake of doing demos. So now I might not ever go back to the studio to record a song unless need be.
So,
thank you.
These are things that came out of the pandemic that we can actually look at as a win, a big win.
Yeah. I mean, every obstacle is always a way to make you stronger or make you smarter.
For sure.
That's how I look at it.
1,000%. Now, it's crazy for me to say this, but I will say this. But soca is still not as mainstream as other genres, like let's say rap and hip hop or pop music, for example. With so much talent that we have out there, why would you say this is the case? And what are you doing to change this?
I mean, the reason boils down to the industry people not liking the truth. And I'm asked this question a lot, and I usually hold back because we are a people who take things a lot personally, and we don't like the truth. We don't like the truth, but it wasn't what someone wanted to hear. They would take it so personally and be upset. But then that doesn't get you anywhere. That don't get you no progress. Because the fact of the matter is the reasons, and there's a bunch of different reasons. There's no one reason. There's a bunch of different reasons. Some I know of, or some that I've realized or grown to know. But when you say it, as opposed to accepting or even listening to the fact that this might be true, we get upset. So we get upset and we do nothing about it, and then we don't move forward. For instance, we kind of always think, or we have it that there's only this handful of people that we're looking at as major stars within the industry.
Right.
Within the industry. But the people who are in power or who are able to make soca music a full genre might not find those people interesting.
Right.
Or might be looking at those people like, whatever. For whatever reason. It doesn't have to be the music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They could say the music is great, but I don't like the packaging. And there could be someone out there who no one is looking at within our industry who we would never push up or put on a pedestal, who, if that same person was seen by the powers that be, they might be like, wait a minute now, hold on. This person, this individual, male, female, could be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find out some more about this person. And then by looking at that person, they discover a bunch of other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that could be looked at, because you have to, I don't care what anyone says. If you're an artist, you have to look the part 90% of the times. You have to have that packaging where when you put it out there, people have to look at you like, yeah, all right. Even the other genres. You mentioned pop, hip hop, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't rate or respect us because of what they see. They don't even bother. They don't even bother listening.
I believe it.
And it's the same concept as you could be walking down and something you're looking for is in a store. But if that store don't lure you in to that establishment, you may never get the product.
Right.
Because of what the store appearance is. So the store's appearance is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, there's a store over here that has the product and you're not going in it. You're not paying it no mind because like, whatever. You know?
Yeah.
And the store that has the product and the appearance is being hidden. You know what I'm saying? So even if the store that does have the appearance that'll make you go in and get your product that you're looking for, it's on a back street or it's being put on a back street. So you will never walk down that street. So you don't know. You will never find your product. So we are not being discovered. The next thing is, and this is a very broad topic that could be a topic that is spoken on for like at least 2-3 hours.
Wow.
Trust me on this. The next thing is, for us to be a genre, we have to have enough body of music being put out there. And when it's put out, it has to be supported.
Right.
If how many soca albums came out for 2020 so far?
I know that
I guarantee you 6 soca albums didn't come out so far this year.
Yeah. Not very many.
Not compilations from artists. We cannot be a genre with 5 albums.
Right.
That's a joke. And then when the 5 albums come out, there's enough West Indians and fans of soca in the world to make a soca album go gold or platinum.
Yes.
But we don't buy the music. We don't stream it. We don't download it. Not enough. If you think about how many people migrated from the Caribbean to North America, if you think about how many West Indians live in North America, any soca artist should be able to put an album out and a song that sells for 99 cents.
Yes.
Should go platinum every single time. Every single time. It's 99 cents. You have Spotify, you have Apple Music, you have Tidal, but it's not being supported. And you can't be mad at the governing bodies, because if there's a genre of music and 3 albums is being put out, when you do a top 10 or a top 100 and you want to do a top 100 soca, you can't do a top 10 albums in soca because there aren't 10 albums to choose from.
Wow.
You can't even shuffle it around. You can't do a top 100. You could probably do a top 100 songs because there's so many songs out there.
Yes.
But you cannot do a top 100 album. Are they going to, as far from their point of view, waste their time and make a genre, an official genre for soca music, when at the end of the day, it's not being supported? They're not going to make any money off it. They might as well shove us into modern dance hall or wherever they want to put us.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, and whatever money they make or whatever money is made there. We have to do better in terms of releasing bodies of work. And when it's released, we have to do better at supporting these albums. An album is $10.
Right.
Even if the people in the Caribbean or West Indies don't have the means of purchasing these albums, because a lot of the digital platforms don't work there. Like, I don't think,
I didn't know that.
A lot of them don't work there. I think Spotify may work in some countries almost. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think that a lot of people are able to have those accounts.
Okay.
Right? But based on North America alone and Europe, based on North America and Europe, myself or any other artist should be able to put out a song and say, I'm putting out a song on Friday, go buy it.
Right.
And everyone with Spotify should at least just buy the song. It's 99 cents. If a song sells 500,000 copies, it goes gold.
Yes.
That's why they say numbers don't lie. If 500,000 copies of any song is sold, it goes gold. They have to recognize that.
Yes.
They can't ignore the fact that it goes gold. So when it does go gold, they're going to look at it like, what is this song that went gold? That just sold 500. Okay. Then that person now could make an argument for the genre that, listen, I'm not doing modern dancehall. What I do is called soca. And if this person or that person or whoever puts out an album for $10, we have more than 500,000 people living in North America and Europe combined.
Of course.
But we're divided, which is another issue. I'm from St. Vincent, and there are people who would like my music but wouldn't buy it based on that alone.
Wow.
It's harsh to say, but it's factual.
Yeah. Wow.
It's harsh to say, but it's factual. They just wouldn't buy it because they say it's Vincy soca, it's not this island soca, or it's not that island soca.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've got real problems, is what you're saying.
It's not the fault of the governing bodies.
Okay.
Because they're in this, it's a business. And no one is in business to do anyone any favors.
Right.
You have to go out there and accomplish what it takes. No one gets a gold medal by coming last.
Nope.
You gotta win the race. No one gets stronger by sitting and laying in bed. You gotta go run, lift whatever weights you gotta lift. It has to be done. And then they're gonna look at us differently. But we don't even look at us differently. So why should they? It's simple. I tried to do songs in terms of what do I do that's different. I release my music. I have my second album dropping in October, hopefully. And like I said, July 10th, I have my EP dropping. It's called The Vaccine. Is dropping July 10th. Anybody could go out there and buy one song off the album that they like. Anyone. It's 99 cents.
Yep.
At least download it. It's not costing you to download it. It's not costing you to download it. And downloads count as well.
Yep.
You know, I also try to work with people in different genres so that their target audience or their audience could also not look at them, but look at me as well. And in so doing, look at the soca genre. You know, there's a bunch of different things that I try to do, but it just has to be seen in a different light. Some people are just blinded to what talent really is. Some people think talent is who you are or the name that you've built for yourself. And
right.
That's what they look at. Oh, it ain't this name, so it can't be good.
Right.
Hey,
yeah.
That's what it is.
And you're right. I mean, tracks are 99 cents on iTunes, Tidal, 99 cents.
It's 99 cents. Just everybody's like, the genre need to do this, the genre need to do that. I don't know if they're not educated as far as what they can do to help.
Okay.
But it's not being done. It's not being done.
No, it's not.
How many times do we get a plaque? I look at hip hop. I'm heavily into hip hop. I love hip hop. And I'm watching these rappers hanging plaques on their wall ever so often. Platinum plaques. It's just 500,000. It sounds like a little bit. It sounds like a lot, but it's a little bit. You know, I'll give you an example. There are songs on YouTube, soca songs, that has millions of views.
Yes.
Because it's free to just go on YouTube to just watch it. Right? And some people love the song so much, they watch it a lot. And that's how the views go up. If you could have 5 million views on a soca song, you're not telling me 500,000 people can't buy a song for 99 cents. That's 500,000 people to, 10 times to get 5 million people. And we can't get it once when it comes to sales.
That's crazy. I mean, with all the hits after hits that's been dropped in the industry, I'm not even going to start calling names and tracks. There's been endless. And I just was under the impression, not knowing so much about the music, that these were all like gold hits.
No, they're not. They should be.
Yeah, they should be.
And I'm not just speaking about my music. I'm speaking about all the great songs out there.
Yes.
They should be. It's 99 cents.
Yeah.
If the artist does not put an album out, I guarantee you, soca music came such a long way that you could get or find almost any song that's released. You can find it out there on any one of the digital media platforms.
Of course,
you can find it. So 99 cents is nothing.
Well, that's one big takeaway, guys. Everyone listening, support our industry, support our music, support everything, because at the end of the day, 99 cents does not break the bank. And, I mean, albums are $10, $10 on everything from Spotify, iTunes, $10 gets you the album. So if that could be one of the big takeaways, listen up. You guys want to know what is wrong with the industry? It starts from us. So really good takeaway. Awesome. Now, since we're still on this kind of a heated topic, one thing that bothers me about the industry is because growing up, I've always been into hip hop and rap. That's my genre. That's even what I sing, the music that I make. That's what I love. But when I want to jump up and fet, obviously soca, dance hall, and all of that is my go-to vibe. Why is it that we're in 2020 and soca is still categorized soca chutney music when they are completely different, like extremely different genres? Why are they still categorized together? I'll never understand that. And maybe you can help me understand that.
I guess because they're so similar. There's chutney, but to be honest, there is soca chutney because what happens when a chutney artist sings on a soca beat?
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What happens when a chutney artist sings a song written by a soca songwriter?
Okay.
There is chutney soca. It does exist, as opposed to just calling it soca. I think it's good to still give chutney some love, for lack of a better expression, because technically speaking, it's a chutney artist doing it. You know,
right.
So I don't think it's fair to take it and call it chutney if it's a soca beat, a soca concept written by a soca songwriter and a chutney artist do it, and vice versa. It's not fair to just call it just soca. But there is chutney that's so far and so distant from soca that's not soca at all.
Yes, and
so,
I think that's where I'm thinking about.
Yeah. But there's chutney soca does exist.
Okay, that's interesting because I mean, let's say for example you did a dance hall track. You wouldn't call it soca dance hall. It would be dance hall. And I think
that's where things start getting complicated because
right.
Honestly, I would call it that. But there are some people who honestly wouldn't see it as dance hall.
They'll still see it as soca even though it's dance hall.
Yes, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Tough industry.
Not everyone, but yeah.
Interesting. Now, racism has been a hot button topic, an ongoing issue, especially for North America, actually, especially for the States. Have you ever felt so far in your career, have you ever had a time where you've felt racism in the music industry? Yes, I have. I've experienced racism. I mean, any black person in America, especially Brooklyn, might have experienced racism on multiple occasions. I have, but I must say when I've experienced racism in North America and in Europe, it wasn't because of music. The one time that I did experience racism because of music was, this is going to sound crazy, in the Caribbean. Yeah, I'm not going to go into it. Right.
It happened, and I was just like, wow. It's really happening. Like, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. I'm pretty sure people who know what happens would hear me say that and they know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to go into it. I mean, it was a one-off thing. It was only one time. It was only one time, but it did happen. It did happen.
Well, the fact that it happened, it sticks with you and you'll never forget it. So.
Oh yeah, I could, you said it and I'm seeing it happening all over again. Like in my mind, I could see it happen.
I believe it. Okay. Wow. With everything that's been happening, do you really think that things will start improving in the U.S.?
Improving, yes. But you see, improving, you can't measure improving. You know, improving, if something slightly happens for the better, that's an improvement.
True.
The thing is that improvement enough? You know, there's such a long way to go, but I think what's happening now just needs to be magnified. It needs to happen more. It needs not to be a trend. It needs not to go away. It needs not to be something that's done now and then calms down until someone else is killed are hurt because of
Right.
racism. It
Right.
needs to continue. The movement needs to continue. Because I'll tell you one thing, and I'll tell you something that will really surprise me.
Okay.
I of course, racism exists,
Of course.
especially against black people, people of color.
Yep.
But what surprised me is how many people are starting to come out of their shell as far as exposing themselves as being racist. Like, there are pages on Instagram that I follow, and it's kind of like they're so brazen. It's so many people. I'm like, wow. So now I'm thinking about all the people who I've come in contact with that I've encountered who might be racist and just wasn't letting it be known, And that's crazy to me, but racist people are stupid, man. And I don't mean stupid in a funny way, like the actual definition of the word stupid, ignorant, which is not really the same thing, but they're ignorant. Yeah. And because they believe in their ignorance, that's what makes them stupid. Because they lack knowledge. They don't understand. Like, there's no need to be racist. Those people, it's so kind of funny to me how stupid these people are. Like, yeah, you're mad at a race of people because of what? Something they had no control over. Yep. Literally. Like, think about that. Literally. Like, you think you're better than me because you're born with less melanin than me. I should be thinking I'm better than you. Yeah. And it's crazy to me that a statement like Black Lives Matter. See, the English language is a funny thing. It's very funny. And this is why I also say they're stupid, dumb, unintelligent. Are you trying to tell me that Black lives don't matter? Because they always respond, not always, but they tend to respond with all lives matter. Mm-hmm. Well, we know that, but we just want you to recognize that ours matter as well. But they lack the mental ability to fathom that. They don't understand that Black Lives Matter only means that we are people. Just like we matter. We're not saying we're better than you. We're not saying that you don't matter. We want you to understand that we matter, that we're not objects, we're not things, we're not trash. We matter. And it's funny, like a comedian was saying, can we just matter? Matter is a small thing. Matter means to mean something. We mean something. Can we just mean something? That's so hard. Wow. So if you're not intelligent enough to understand that that's what Black Lives Matter means, yeah, I pity you. I feel sorry for them. So be it. All right. Well, another hot button topic that's been really prevalent these days, COVID-19. And it's definitely, caused so much havoc in the entertainment industry as a whole, with so many concerts being closed, canceled, not being able to travel. How has it directly affected you with everything that's been going on? A lot of money lost. Absolutely. A lot of money. 1,000%. I'm not worried about it. I mean, besides not being able to do my shows, not being able to travel, I'm not worried about it because I'm a homebody anyway. So quarantining doesn't bother me. I don't need to be outside to feel alive. Things of that nature. Maybe going to the gym. I miss going to the gym. But I always tell people when they ask me this during interviews, I say, minus the loss of wages. Yeah. And minus the loss of human life. We kind of needed this. We kind of needed not to be sick, not to be hurt, not to lose people, not to lose money. But we needed to calm down a little bit. I mean, it took COVID-19 for a lot of fathers and mothers to spend time with their children. True. As opposed to people who don't matter in their life. True. You know what I'm saying? It took COVID-19 to make someone rest, take a break. Something as simple as that. It took COVID-19 to make people learn how to record themselves. Me. It took COVID-19 to make people realize, wait a minute, I have a talent here that I could tap into. Yeah, me. So we needed to chill. We needed to not be so wild. The universe needed it. The environment needed it. From all the pollutants, and, the cars, the smog, the everything. Yep. The littering. The universe is a living organism. Yep. And if we don't if we don't take care of it, it'll take care of itself. So
It's true.
yeah,
That is very true.
On that.
All right. Well, we're going to switch it up and get back to the music. Now, as I was prepping for your interview, I came across one of your tracks, The Real Bad Boy, and it's reggae. Not going to lie, I was a little surprised. I did not know you did some reggae as well. And can you tell us a bit more about this track? And do you have any plans on doing some more reggae?
That track is so old. I barely remember that. And I do a lot of music. I do a lot of music, a couple of songs per day once I feel the vibe. So
okay.
I like to experiment with music. I do what I do on different beats for the fun of it. You know, sometimes hoping something may, just experimenting, because you never know. That's what an experiment is, you know, trying to come up with something new, trying to get to your destination in a new way. My EP that's coming out July 10th actually has a dancehall track on it.
Nice.
I've been working with some dancehall producers here and there. I'm not sure what's going on with those projects, but I've recorded on a couple of dancehall tracks lately. I've recorded on a hip hop track lately. Music is music. I've written a reggae track, like one drop reggae.
Okay.
I do it all. So, I mean, I know a lot of people might be surprised because soca is really what took off for me. But if you listen to my music closely, you can hear a lot of dancehall in it because that's more naturally who I am.
Well, over the years, you've released so many bangers after bangers, from Life of the Party to Nasty Up, and the list goes on and on. Now, what would you say is one of your favorite tracks and why?
I couldn't really say, because I have even songs I've written for people that I love, that I hold dear to my heart.
Like?
You know, I love songs that like Splinters, Shal Marshall, Like It Like This, Kesson Patrice, Whole Night, King Bubba, Old and Grey, Patrice Roberts, Like It Hot, Patrice Roberts again, Machel Montano, Falling, Machel Montano, Play Harder, a bunch of other songs. I love all those songs because a lot of those songs are like personal to me. So, you know, I just kind of pen them and let someone else send the message out there on my behalf. Nasty Up is a song that I'm very comfortable performing. Okay. You know, because that's more naturally who I am, and that's more naturally the Vincy vibe I was speaking about earlier. But I can't deny the fact that I do love the other songs just as much.
You know, despite with the whole COVID situation, it's amazing that you were able to transform your home into a home studio and still recording, still making music. That is amazing. Do you have any other projects? You said you have an EP coming out in July 10th. And you also have an album dropping October. Anything else you want our listeners to know about?
Yeah, just work upon work that you have to look out for. I mean, the safest thing to do is to follow me on Instagram at Real Problem Child, REAL Problem Child, because I've been doing so much work and things will happen out the blue sometimes, because some of the stuff that I do, I'm not in control of. Like, they're not my projects. Right. And a producer or a label might decide, okay, I'm going to do something next week. And, you know, they didn't notify me before, so I had no knowledge, but I did the work and it was sitting there. And then they might have just decided, you know what, next week we're going to release this project. And then that's when I get the information, okay, the project is coming out next week. So that's the safest thing to do, is to follow me on Instagram at Real Problem Child, because when I'm notified that this project is coming out, I will let my audience know. Okay. Excellent. But it's a bunch of stuff out there, a bunch of other stuff that's just out there.
Okay, perfect. Now, Problem Child, what's next for you?
Probably go finish immediately next is probably go finish the song that I started this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just waiting for this thing to pass, the whole situation, and see what happens when the world opens up, as everyone likes to say. See when the next carnival is. You know, people are still inquiring about 2021 bookings. So, you know, I'm just taking it in stride and see what happens next.
Okay. Now, you have tons of fans worldwide. And how do you handle this side of the business? Do you make yourself available to your fans?
Sometimes too available. Like, I try.
I believe it.
I try to respond to people, wherever they may message me, which is mostly Instagram. But a lot of times, if people ever wonder why artists don't respond, it's not that they think they're too good. Is you may want to message an artist and say something positive, but then to get to that, he or she has to go through 10, 15 things that they really don't want to encounter. A bunch of different stuff, so we're turned off by stuff like that sometimes. And a lot of times we're just too busy. Sometimes we don't manage our own accounts. So you're not really talking to us, but, whenever I can, I do respond to people in my DMs or whatever. And sometimes some requests that people have, which is like somebody's like, "You'll probably write me a song." Okay. This is the procedure. Oh, I thought you would have just written it. And
There's protocols.
And you have to hear stuff like that. Not even like, "Hey, good day, my name is so-and-so, just write me a song." Or people requesting that you write a song for their 5-year-old.
Okay.
It happens.
Wow.
It happens. And realistically speaking, really, I mean, of course, there are 5-year-olds out there who might be worthy of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the approach sometimes. Sometimes, the person is not serious. Sometimes it's a joke. And I really don't have time for that. I really don't have time to waste, I should say. That is,
right.
My time is being wasted.
For sure. Your time is very valuable. You have so much on the go, and those types of requests are just a waste of time.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, I did notice you have an amazing social media presence, from your Facebook to your Instagram, your YouTube. Where else can our listeners connect with you online?
It's basically there. Facebook, I'm not really a fan of Facebook. Whatever you see on my Facebook, for the most part, is whatever is posted on my Instagram, and they're linked.
Right.
So, right. But I don't really go on Facebook like that. There's too much other stuff on there that has nothing to do with me.
Right.
Or what I'm concerned about. So it's basically Twitter, which is Vincy Bad Boy.
Okay.
And Instagram, which is Real Problem Child, is where I am as far as social media goes.
And now, lastly, right now we have a ton of your fans listening worldwide. What message do you have for them?
Wow. I mean, that's very broad. I mean, just stay safe. Stay safe and, don't give up on your goals, your dreams. Stay assertive and, just remain humble. And whatever you're trying to accomplish, it's doable. It could be done. Just don't give up. And buy my EP.
Exactly.
That is one song. Wait till the EP drop. It's 5 songs on there. It's called The Vaccine. And purchase one song.
July 10th.
July 10th. That's Thursday night, 12:01. It's actually the 9th at midnight. But as soon as the 10th starts, which is 12 o'clock and a second after 12, it's available.
All right, guys, you heard it first.
It'll be on YouTube as well, because I realize not all my fans, have that ability or are capable to just purchase.
Right.
So all the songs will be on YouTube for their listening pleasure.
This was awesome. Problem Child, you are doing an amazing job representing St. Vincent, and I know the people there are proud to have you as one of their own. I love that you were able to bring soca music to the masses and working hard at making it mainstream. It needs to be mainstream because at the end of the day, soca music is good. It's lively. It gets you in the mood to enjoy life.
Yes, it does.
And absolutely. And I can't wait for the whole COVID situation to be done with so we can get our lives back and you'll be back where you belong on stage.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Looking forward to your new music and excited to see what's next for you. I would like to thank you for being a guest on my show.
Anytime.
And I'm a huge fan of your music, love your performances, and I do truly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to connect with us and share your experiences. And I love the impact that you have on soca music. Thank you
very much. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Safe. Be good. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. And with that, everyone, we're signing off for today. But I'll be leaving you with one of my favorite soca tracks ever made. Yes, guys, I just said ever made. Problem Child's Life of the Party, yeah. 'cause I love to party. Again, you guys heard the story behind the track. And, again, when I heard that track for the first time, it was like the soca bugs bit me and I became a carnivalist and a fetter. And guess what? I ain't never going back. I love to fet, love to go to the carnivals, especially Miami Carnival, Orlando Carnival. I live for the carnivals, man. And just like to say thank you to our listeners for listening to today's show. Hopefully you'll be tuning in next week. I have another amazing and exciting guest coming up. One of the Six's upcoming DJs. And guess what? He's making waves worldwide, guys. I'm excited to have DJ Kevin on my show. Hopefully you're tuning in. And again, thanks for listening.
Well, yes, up in the party, me there. The original party animal. Jesus Christ, on the party, I'm at so. How much rock from front to the back, so DJ, we keep the girl them hot, so. How people have the man up, so. And I got liquor in my cup, cup can't empty, fill it up. And if you never know, never know for sure. We are the life of the party, yeah. The life of the party, yeah. The life of the party, alright, yeah. The life of the party, yeah. Oh no, we love the party. It's the bomb, dress code, I kill them. DJ announce, we in the building. Drinks, one drink, till we start spill them. It's a movie, I hope somebody film it. Me tell them already, say the Chris can't pull up. Me tell them Chris, so the Chris can't pull up. Big tune a beat out, hard and pull up. We are the life of the party, yeah. 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 We love the party. When money can't done, times can't done, fun can't done.
You're locked down to islandhits.com.
Party can't done, no party can't done. Somebody say, ooh, ooh. Party animal, dance full of more pretty girl than cannibal. We don't follow no man's style, we original. We are the life of the party, yeah. 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 We love the party. Well, me and me whole team, ever so fresh, ever so clean. As soon as we roll in, girl them see we and start scream. We are the life of the party, yeah. 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 We love the party. 2065 as usual. Catch up if you can't catch up, tomato. Problem on, dick.
You're locked down to islandhits.com.